my god. How you like the fireplace? Isn't that cool? It's like a fireside chat, except there's no warmth, and it's digital, and it's useless. I think some people actually have like large screen TVs and they show fish swimming around. That way they don't actually have to feed real fish. Isn't that cool? I think that's like what some rich people do. I'm going to buy a large screen TV set and just have fish swimming around in it. Let's first start off by stating something rather obvious. There's no love lost between me and the guy with the big fluffy hair. Now, Tony decided to make a new video in response to Jared Polin. And I wouldn't comment on this, except so many people asked me to comment on it. His video, not Fro, but Tony's video, is so full of errors. I'm going to give you exact quotes. But first let me point out a mistake in his Jpeg video from last week. A really, really hardcore error. A fundamental faux pas, to understate it, that he made. Just a serious, serious screw-up, which will be undeniable by you if you have more than 2 brain cells. I'll make this really abundantly clear. Tony actually shows, he says, look, there's not much difference. He shows 2 identical images. One's a Jpeg of a shot, and the other is a RAW of a shot. He's like, look, there's not much difference here. It's really negligible. You see, this is what we call a false analogy. Huge, huge mistake. Tony's big mistake is that he actually showed a RAW and a Jpeg side by side in that first video on Jpeg from like a week or week and a half ago. That huge false comparison, which is a logical fallacy, is like saying a Lamborghini and a Volkswagen are pretty much the same when they're both going 5 miles an hour down the road. You see, this is the difference between potentiality and actuality. When Tony showed the RAW on the one side and the Jpeg file on the other, he's not showing you potential. He's actually showing you both images basically set for the same exposure. I'm sure he probably normalized both of them to pretty much look, they look the same. Well, this is not the reason to be shooting RAW files. I mean, I can make, when you actually bring up a RAW editor like Lightroom or Iridiant or Capture One, you can bring up the RAW and the Jpeg. I always shoot RAW plus fine for 2 reasons. So workflow, and also if you want to do a really quick edit and slap it up on Instagram, it's easy if you're really busy to edit a crummy little Jpeg. If it's decent, slap it up on Instagram, or even Flickr for that matter. But that's another matter. He is not showing potential when he showed you those 2 things. He was trying to make a statement, and his statement was fundamentally flawed, period. Flat out, no argument, no dispute from you can occur. You are not showing the potential there. And so this is the RAW as the Jpeg. They both look pretty much the same, therefore it's okay to shoot JPEGs. It saves a lot of space. No. A RAW file is about countless things, more latitude. Do you know how much more tonality you have in RGB, especially for black and white? If you're going to render it in black and white, oh my god. Oh my god. Non-destructive editing. I mean, you can make a list about, you can make 100 points of why you should be shooting RAW files instead of JPEG. 100 points. Now, if you want to do some casual shooting, and by the way, I got a lot more exact quotes from him that are absolutely incorrect. If you want to just shoot some casual stuff, it's like, well, from his premise, if I just want to go down the street, bebop down the street, what if, and this has happened to me countless times, you've just taken that magic shot, you were out shooting, and this happened in Florida more than a few times, like, oh god, the day's been a waste, I've got no great shots. And then boom, something important happened. You raise your camera up to say, oh my god, I was shooting a JPEG. So now you have this locked in place, mostly useless image relative to a RAW file. Oh my god, I've taken this shot that I'm just going to cherish for the rest of my life, but I shot it in a frigging JPEG. It's a little bit overexposed. If I shot RAW plus fine or shot it in RAW, then I would have been able to make it look totally perfect. Yeah, there's no such thing as going out and shooting casually. Now, I know you think that there is, but there may be that one time when you're going out to shoot casually, and you never know when something's going to happen, or you're just going to get that one shot that's just magical. It's like, oh crap, I shot it in JPEG. So Tony is absolutely incorrect on that, showing a RAW and a JPEG side by side. Look, they both look. The RAW file is not about, it looking the same side by side to a JPEG. It is about the potential of what the hell you could do with it. So that that demonstration in his first video is called a false comparison. Yeah, a Lamborghini and a Volkswagen both going down the street at 5 miles an hour, both basically are going just as fast, right? That is not showing you the potential, because we know the Lambo could just like touch the accelerator. You know, leave the Volkswagen in the dust. You see what I'm saying? He also states, this is all of these are exact quotes, by the way. Jared took my video out of context. No, Jared did not take your video out of context. People always say that when they want to backpedal on, oh, you took my video out of context. You took my words out of context. No, he did not. I saw Jared's video like 3 or 4 times. Actually, I think I saw more than that. Now, Tony says, it's easy to speak in reference to Jared Polin. It's easy to speak theoretically and speculate, i.e. referring to Jared, and saying that the difference is huge between RAW and Jpeg. It's neither theory nor speculation to state the obvious existential, empirical, hardcore, undeniable facts that a RAW has infinite potential relative to a damn JPEG. Jared is not speculating, quote-unquote, and is not being theoretical, quote-unquote, as Tony said, and talking about RAW versus JPEG. So, Tony, you're wrong on that. Now, by the way, I wrote the article for Apple on hard drives as far as backups. I have over 200 hard drives. Backups versus archives and how to store your stuff. He's talking about fire and theft could destroy your images as far as it being expensive to store your stuff up. You know, you could go down to Walmart and get yourself a $20 firebox. Now, it can be stolen since it's small. Theft is another issue where you need a larger safe. But fireproof vaults, they're literally $25 at Walmart. I suggest anybody actually store it in your basement in a cool, dry place. Your important files somewhere hidden if you're worried about them being stolen. If your house burns down, your hard drives will still be safe. $20. If you can afford a halfway, $500 camera and a couple $100 lens, are ridiculous. Now, here's another false comparison Tony levels against Jared. Jared's talking about hard drives being really cheap, and they are. As I've got drawers full of dead and disassembled hard drives over here. I've taken apart hundreds and hundreds of hard drives, literally. I own over 200 hard drives. Hard drives now are cheap as dirt. Anyway, Tony said $100 for a 4 terabyte hard drive. Now, $100 for a lot of people is a lot of money. Well, this is undeniable, but I can assure you of this. If someone buys a $500 camera, which is a pretty damn cheap junky camera, and a $300 lens, if they can't come up with a couple, you should always have a backup. Your data, two copies is one, and 1 copy is none due to hard drive failure. If you can't afford a couple of because hard drives, not the SD cards in your camera, okay? That's not the film. Well, sure it is. It goes in the camera. No, because you're erasing your images off of these. Even if you have a decent camera and only 2 SD cards, and SD cards right now are dirt cheap. This is not the film, because you offload these to your hard drive and you make a redundant copy at the very, very least. Never have only 1 copy. Hard drives are exactly the same thing as film back in the day. At film at its cheapest, and I was a film shooter back in photography school, I had to decide whether I was going to buy like macaroni and cheese, which was cheap dog food, relative to 100 feet of, and I'd roll my own film. It's cheap, but I mean, hard drives are film. Okay, this is where your images are stored. Not on your SD cards, that's temporary. That's in the camera. Your images go to a hard drive, whether that's local hard drives, and there's no such thing as a cloud, damn it. I hate it when people say cloud. Cloud is just an anonymous server farm full of server-grade hard drives. Thousands and thousands and tens of thousands, actually. Hard drives. Hard drives are cheap as dirt, and they are film. 4 terabytes will hold an enormous amount of data, unless you're shooting medium format of the Nikon D850, of which the RAW files are enormous. Hard drives are film. Hard drives today are literally over 20 times cheaper than the point at which film was around about 1994 was at its cheapest, when film was dirt cheap. Hard drive space relative to the images you can put on a 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, 6 terabyte. Hard drives are cheap as dirt, and that is film and digital photography. So this statement by Tony is nonsense. If you afford a $500 camera and a $300 lens, which is the average for a cheap junky camera, well, a cheapo camera, Yeah, cheapo camera is basically $500. You can find the $100 to buy yourself a 4 terabyte hard drive. You can. We should always, like I said, have your images in more than one place. At the very, very minimum, 2 more places. But that's a matter for another discussion. Oh my God. Whoa. His statements are... now, Jared accused him of flip-flopping, and Jared was right. I have got no love for Jared because I don't even want to get into that. I've got no love for the guy with the big fluffy hair. I have nothing against him personally at all, but his video was correct. You know? His video was correct. Tony's statement, shooting JPEGs might improve some specific shooting scenarios. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Shooting JPEGs might... There is no point and no place where that is correct. If you get a cheap camera and it chokes on the raw buffer, then that means you're shooting action and you're trying to rip off a bunch of shots, and you realize, because you got more than 5 brain cells, that, hey, I'm trying to do some professional level photography here, and I have a slightly unprofessional camera. And then you're going to save your pennies for a damn camera that doesn't choke on RAW files. So the statement that Tony made, and this is an exact quote, shooting JPEGs might improve some specific shooting scenarios. That statement is palpably, existentially, and empirically incorrect. Just flat out incorrect. Whoo, God. Here's another exact quote. Shooting JPEGs doesn't lower your skill level. No, what it does is it infinitely lowers your ability to edit your photos, fix mistakes, improve things, do non-destructive editing, artistically edit your photos as you see fit, Photoshop, Lightroom, blah, 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 on and on and on and on and on. It limits you. I'm going to buy a really nice camera, and I'm going to be limited by shooting crappy JPEGs. There's nothing wrong with a JPEG. I shoot RAW plus fine. And like I said, there's a few hardcore reasons why you should be shooting RAW plus fine. By the way, on a Fujifilm camera, you should always be shooting RAW plus fine. Why? Because on a Fujifilm, if you want to review the image, now there's a JPEG embedded in every RAW file. But it's not a big JPEG. If you want to really zoom in on your, it's like, did I really nail that nose or nail that eye in focus? You can't zoom into 100% if you're shooting RAW only on a Fuji, which is why you should always be shooting RAW plus fine, i.e. fine JPEG. That way you could review your image at 100%. Okay? There's a tip for all Fujifilm users. Here's another exact statement, quote from Tony. RAW is always going to be a little bit better. What? What? RAW is always going to be... No, RAW is always going to be an enormous amount better. For countless, endless reasons that just go on and on down the list. I swear to God, I don't think most people know the difference between a RAW and a JPEG. When Tony made that first video, my butt puckered. He's like, here's the RAW file and here's the JPEG. They both look pretty much the same. Well, that's not showing you the potentiality of the RAW file. Saying a RAW looks pretty much the same. Oh, look, they're side by side. Yeah. At the end of the video, Tony actually said, Jared gave no examples or proof. He doesn't have to. It is an established hardcore fact as much as when the sun rises every morning that a RAW file is infinitely superior for countless, innumerable reasons to a JPEG. He doesn't have to give reasons for the obvious. You know, it's not like it's something in contention. It's like, ooh, we need to debate this. It's like, no, we don't. It's settled. It's like a flat earth. It's like, we need to have a debate. It's like, no, we don't. The earth is spherical. We don't have to debate whether the earth is spherical or not. No, well, we'd have to have a debate on this. No, we don't. No, we don't. Having a debate on RAW versus JPEG is like, you know, let's have a debate on flat earth versus spherical. And no, we don't need to do that. Because it's already been entirely settled, beyond any shadow of a doubt. Oh my God. The additional cost of RAW. There is no additional cost of RAW. What, you need to buy a $100 4 terabyte hard drive and a backup, redundant backup to it at the very minimum? Hard drives are film. The cost of hard drives today, hard drives have been expensive in the distant past, 5, 10 years ago. Oh, yeah, we know that, right? Whew, even solid states are coming down a lot. They're still pretty expensive. Relative to film, shot per shot, digital photos are insanely cheap. And also, you don't have to stick your hands in cancer-causing chemicals like I did for years. Arrgh! Sitting in that dark room in Daytona Beach. It's nice and sunny outside. I'm sitting in a friggin' dark room. Getting my hands wet with Fixer, Stop Bath. Oh, to hell with that crap. It's not only the cost, it's the pain in the ass. All of these are exact quotes from Tony, and all of them are wrong. The worst of which is where on the first video, this is a RAW, this is a JPEG. They both look pretty much the same. Yeah, no. No! That doesn't tell you what the actual, show you what the potential of the RAW file is. Oh my god. He says, and here's another exact quote, always RAW or always JPEG, different tools for different jobs. No, different jobs should always be applied with the top performance, the top output, and a top result. When you talk about job, you're talking about photography as a type of professionalism where someone is paying you and you're doing a job. And if you think, well, there's a difference, well, I got a choice between RAW or JPEG. Maybe if someone's only paying you $30, you might shoot JPEG now. Even then, you wouldn't do it. Oh, all of these are direct quotes from him, and all of them are palpably incorrect. You see, these are not personal attacks. A lot of stupid comments on his videos and Jared's videos and my videos are the same stuff. I don't like his personality. I just think he's a jerk. He's a jerk or I'm a jerk. None of that crap matters. What you need to be asking yourself is, what the hell is the damn fact? I might not like this guy, him or her or he or she, but what the hell is the fact? Get to the fact, the brass tacks. If you don't care about the facts, then you're some schmuck that will, fall into a cult. It's like, I like that guy. It's like, it's a cult. It's a sick, yeah, but he's got a great personality, and he talks so smooth. Ugh. It's called the cult of personality. You ever heard of that before? Look it up on Google. Cult of personality. That means you don't give a crap about the facts. You only care about the way it's said. Hey, would you like to join my cult? Hi, how you doing there? Cult of personality. That crap should not be applicable to existential facts regarding photography. Let me quote Benjamin Kanarek, a professional photographer, a real one, who shoots covers for Vogue, Elle, Harper's Bazaar. I will address this to Tony in his statement on JPEGs. I've been published in magazines like Elle, Harper's Bazaar, and Vogue, not only in Glamour magazine and endlessly so. Shot some of the most prestigious top models of the world. I'm saying this because if you're concerned at all about final outcome and pre-press quality of your images, you must shoot in RAW. The latitude potential is far superior to that of JPEG regardless of the support you are using. So, if you really care about getting a client back to you who might say, I really need this image to be much lighter or whatever, as did recently happen to me for a major international publication, I strongly suggest you shoot RAW only. Signed, Benjamin Kanarek, elite supermodel photographer and haute couture fashion photographer in Paris, France. Maybe Tony thinks he knows more than that dude. Pretty sure he don't. Yeah, I said don't. That was incorrect English. So, I sum up by stating, I gave exact quotes. I did not take them out of context. Even though there's no love lost between me and the guy with the big fluffy hair, Jared was right. Some people say, Jared came off... I saw these comments on another person's channel. Jared came off as a douche. I don't like him. Who cares what you thought he said or didn't say, or I said or didn't say? What are the facts? If you don't give a damn about the damn facts, then you're just into cult of personality. In other words, someone could just lie and lie and lie and lie. I don't care what you said, it's just how you said it. Actually, personally, the people that I have the least respect for on this earth are those that care about personality cults. Oh my god, he's so cute, he's got smooth talking, but the other one is truth by popularity, or truth by consensus. Oh my god, he's got more subscribers, he must be right. Are you really that stupid? I saw that comment today, twice, from two different people. He's got more subscribers, oh god, therefore he must be right. Really? Where do those dumb people come from? Honestly, I'm asking you, where do those dumb people come from? Truth by popularity. Really? That is the dumbest. If that's the crap, then everything you should do should be exactly what the Kardashians do, because they got, a billion followers on Instagram and Flickr or whatever. You should buy everything they do. You should get that big badonkadonk butt like they got. Truth by popularity. How stupid are those people? Honestly, tell me, how stupid are those people? If you don't understand how stupid... Oh my God. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. The collective IQ of this world has descended into these lower pits of hell from which it shall not escape. Lux Veritas. That's Latin, by the way.